Ask yourself the damn question. Is winning the only thing to you?
Sports today are not just played on the field. They're played every day, online, all over the world, by sports fans just like you.
Don't you dare breathe. That won't get you anywhere. If you don't think you're a winner, you don't belong here.
The Star Fantasy League Show puts you in control of your own team. Find out who to sit, who to start, how to play, and have your daily fantasy sports questions answered with your host, Jonathan Sprung, and co-host SFL CEO Zach Stanley and Nick Steblenko. The Star Fantasy League Show is on the air now.
Hello and welcome to the Star Fantasy League Show here on 105.5 The Team in Rochester. I am your host, Jonathan Sprung, joined, as always, by Teddy Bear 2 himself, Nick Steblenko.
I think I left all the fun and games out there yesterday. All the fun that we had with our man, Booby Dixon.
I think you're a little confused because the fun and games are not over on the Star Fantasy League Show today.
Yes.
We have Matthew Footer back on the show. What up, Foot?
Wait,
What's going on?
That's the fun part.
That's not fun.
Oh, okay,
No, I'm
sorry.
just kidding. That's
He's
kinda
the fun part. The games
fun.
part. The games
He
part's
left out a
actually
word.
coming up a little bit later because today on the Star Fantasy League Show, we're finally getting into NBA. There are 6 divisions in basketball, and there are 6 days of show left until the start of the season on Wednesday. So guess what? We're previewing every single division of the basketball. You know that basketball thing?
That's great
NBA?
math right there.
Yeah.
Joy.
Well, Friday doesn't count technically. We're doing the weekend fantasy focus.
No,
but
I'd say it's
time for
good.
that.
6 and 6. That's good math.
Wow, thank you. The fun and games is over. You don't insult the host like that. What's wrong
I'm
with
not.
you?
Wait, what are you talking about? That's half the fun of the show.
Yeah, that is half the fun.
true. The other
But
half's
we're
the
actually
big fun
starting.
of me.
We're starting with the Atlantic. My Boston Celtics are in the Atlantic. They're clearly the toast of the division. No, they're not. I can't even say that with a straight
No, there's
face.
no joking about that. They are a joke.
But the game part of the show is going to be. Yesterday we decided to try to have a little fun and pick the actual starters for KC and San Francisco in the World Series. We'll break down that game as well, but we're going to try to name the players on the Philadelphia 76ers. Are you guys ready for
Dun
it?
dun dun. I think I got like 2.
That's sad.
I might have 3.
That's really
but I don't
sad.
know if he's even going to play this year.
Okay. Well, no, I'm going to give bonus points for bench players on the
So
roster.
just anybody on the roster.
No.
Oh,
We're going to go position by position.
Oh,
I'm going to
boy.
give you each
Allen
a chance.
Iverson. No, I'm just kidding.
That's bad. All righty.
Yeah,
we
that's
are
about where we are.
Daryl Dawkins.
We're going to get to that a little bit later, the Atlantic preview. Like I said, we're doing all of the conferences. But we got to start with this whole Ray Rice news. I know I'm not allowed to say his name, but take it away, Nick. I honestly don't want to talk about this at all, but
You
you
don't wanna
wanted to
talk
bring
about
it
this?
I'm so tired of this human being.
Listen, the reason I wanted to talk about it has nothing to do with the man formerly known as Ray. It has more to do with the NFL. And I think
And the man at the top? You talking about that guy?
I am talking about that guy, the guy that refuses to talk because he, for whatever reason, I mean, they say he's legally obligated to talk. He says he's not. Why don't you just get it all out there? You got something to hide? Why not bring it right out to the table?
You just said it. Do you think he has something to
Yeah,
hide?
he does,
Of
and that's why.
course.
Well, sorry, he won't say anything. My issue is, everybody wants Ray Rice to be suspended for the rest of eternity for punching his fiance. What he did was despicable. It was horrible. There's no condoning it whatsoever. However, let's look at the other side of this, and the NFL, who basically doubled down and tripled down on the same offense. They screwed up the first time, so now they use Ray Rice as a scapegoat to say, you know what, we screwed up, and we're sorry, and we're going to make sure that he gets punished very heavily. So he forfeits his entire contract. He gets suspended indefinitely. I think it's all wrong, and I think the NFL should be the ones taking the brunt of all of this.
Yeah, the NFLPA is arguing that he was denied due process, and it essentially was double jeopardy, like you're saying.
Exactly.
And under Article 46, it says you're only governed one punishment.
Article 46, my man.
Article 46.
Yes. Article 46.
I don't have the article number, but that is
That
correct.
is fantastic.
But
I
the
can't
funny
believe you
thing
pulled
was,
that out.
okay, you went for 2 games, which was the original suspension, and then, okay, they changed the rule to do 6 games. So why wouldn't he be suspended 6 games, what the actual rule you changed? That could be considered not double jeopardy, going, oh, no, we had the rule wrong. Here's what the actual rule is. Here's your 6-game suspension. Maybe
But
it
we
wouldn't
know
be the
that
big
wasn't
backlash.
the truth. We know that wasn't the case.
I know, but I'm saying maybe he
I
could have covered up with that.
I understand what you're saying, and I mean, I don't understand. But you got to remember, he got released. He got released by the Ravens. He's not on a team now.
No.
But they're saying that he can't even be a free agent. And that's not right to me. If somebody wants to pick him up, it's America. We live in a free country. He's allowed to at least try to work. He's allowed to give it a shot. He is. If somebody is dumb enough to sign him, then they can suffer through that punishment.
Buffalo Bills right now.
Do it.
Sorry, Buffalo kind of needs a running back, don't they?
No, they don't. They got Booby.
Oh,
Put
you
Booby
had
in.
to.
Funny fact about the Bills, actually the group that Pagula, he runs like a sports agency group.
Pagula.
He actually, one of his clients that he technically oversees is Ray Rice, actually.
Uh-oh.
See?
The
Could
big
be
black
seen.
The
cloud.
connections
hover.
are starting to come together.
Why are you excited about that?
No.
No, you should. Yeah, you should not be.
There's no excitement.
Listen, if nobody wants to sign him, that's one thing. But barring him from working is illegal. It's not right. And the NFL screwed up the first time, and they're trying to they're basically trying to use the court of public opinion to win their case here. I just don't think it's right. I don't think it's right.
I heard that the Arena League is back in business.
And Ray
the
Rice
CFL's there
could
as
be
well.
a pretty good Arena League player.
Yeah, just get out of here. Just go do your thing for a year until everything blows over. Then come back to the NFL next season. Why not?
Egregious. It's all egregious.
If the ruling falls in his favor, it's going to have a major impact on the other cases in the NFL and possibly, trickle into different sports as like, we talked about on Monday with the hockey and everything. So it'll be real interesting if it falls in his favor, what's the ramifications we're going to see.
Yeah, I'm not sure where all this is going, but it can't be anywhere good because Roger Goodell's head's going to get
he can't make
cut off.
He can't make a good decision to save his life or his job.
No, he already.
Oh wait,
apparently
that's
has a
right.
job.
He made enough bad decisions to get fired for a lifetime, but he's still the commissioner of the NFL.
Correct.
There we go. Good
All right,
job, dude.
We're getting a little bitter here, so we're moving on to game one of what's that thing that happened
baseball
last night?
thing.
The baseball thing.
Wait,
that
what is
happened
it? The
last
world, the
night.
world.
The World Cup.
Ye old
World-
baseball.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
That's right. America's Game had their championship World Series game one last night, and 4 people watched.
I watched.
Did you really?
Yeah, I was one of those.
I watched
4.
a few innings.
See?
I
Well, so we got 1.5.
Yeah.
That doesn't count.
Oh, come on, it counts.
Any takeaways from this game other than the fact that Mad Bum was disgusting?
The man.
Yeah.
Madison Bumgarner. Oh, no, you know what my favorite was, actually? This was a direct Joe Buck quote. He said, "We haven't seen a pitcher this good in the World Series in a long time." I get what he was saying, but did John Lester pitch in the World Series last year?
yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure he has the lowest ERA
Ever?
ever
Yeah.
by a pitcher. So you're pretty far off there, Mr. Buck.
Joe Buck likes to use a lot of hyperbole to get his points across, and that's definitely one of them.
That was a very ridiculous statement of him.
What do you think he's going to say about Jake Peavy going tonight in Game 2? He's been here. He's already been here
No.
once.
This is here. This is what he's going to say. He's a gritty performer. He's a gutsy guy, but a class act all around. I can guarantee you those 3 things are going to be said tonight.
Wasn't he terrible in last year's playoffs for the Red Sox? Didn't he have
was
like
not
an
good.
8 ERA?
No, he was not good.
Yeah, not good at all. They're going to say
It was a toss-up between Peavy and Buchholz.
He's endured some adversity in the
Yeah,
past
overcome
teams he's
adversity.
been with.
There we go.
Been with
Overcoming
the
adversity.
Padres.
But don't forget, he is a World Series champion, and that means something. Apparently, I don't really.
No,
think
listen,
it means
I
anything.
love what Jake Peavy's doing, but I think I'm more focused on the hilarity of that is Joe Buck.
Yeah,
I think it's funny.
That sounds
Yeah,
about right.
I
Any other takeaway? What should we be looking forward to in Game 2? You got Ventura against Jake Peavy, a guy who has they claim they're like, oh, he's never pitched for the Royals in the playoffs. I'm like, yeah, because it's the second year and he played for the Royals, who haven't made the playoffs in 25
Yeah, right,
years.
exactly.
The way they phrase it, it's like, yeah, we know he hasn't pitched in the playoffs, you idiots. Of course he hasn't.
For Ventura, looking to see if he can handle the big stage, looking to see if he can step up and go 6 or 7 innings. I think it's going to be a battle of which pitcher goes deeper. I really do. I think both of these teams have depth in their order, and they've shown that they can get it done on a number of levels, whether it's a close game or a total blowout. So I think whichever pitcher goes deeper, that team's going to pull out this game.
It'll be interesting to see if if the Royals have an answer for Hunter Pence and Pablo Sandoval. Those guys went a combined 4 for 8 last night, drove in 4 runs. I mean, they were pretty much the main production right there. So
Yep.
I don't know if they'd have an answer at this point. That was the first time they had lost in almost a month. It was like September 27th was the last time they
Oh,
lost.
I hate those stupid numbers. They've won 8 games. Big deal. 8 games. That's it.
It's a month in baseball season.
It's pretty impressive what they've
That's
done
like
so
when they
far.
say that in football. They haven't lost in a month. They played 4 games. Shut up. Like, stop that.
But they have been pretty impressive.
Okay. They've been pretty impressive.
The Royals
Fine.
have done a good job.
We're moving on because it's time to play a game here on the Star Fantasy League show. Are you all ready for this?
I am.
Yeah,
let's do it.
I got to make up for my terrible lackluster effort of putting out
Don't worry, I'll
games
make
David
up for
Price
it for you.
yesterday.
All right, I have to preface this by saying I'm pretty much the only NBA fan and diehard on this show right now. Zach Stanley, who's also on this show, is a huge NBA fan like myself. but he's not here.
I'm like a fan of my team. I don't
Stop
watch
it.
a lot of games
I
of
read
other
your
teams.
I read your preview of the Atlantic.
I know my team. I know my team. That's the important thing.
All right, but I am the NBA guy on this show as long as Zach isn't here. Then we share duties, obviously.
Yeah, I'll gladly give you that title.
I love my fantasy NBA, but we're doing the Atlantic.
I'm holding a puck.
Yeah, we're doing the Atlantic where my Boston Celtics sadly reside at the basement. But we're going to do the Philadelphia 76ers game where you're going to name their awful starting lineup, and they are truly atrocious. Even people like me had trouble naming, 3 or 4 guys on this starting roster, and then the bench, and we're going to give points. So I'm going to give you each a chance to name it. You don't have to agree, and I'm going to give you points based off it and see who wins.
All right.
All right, starting point guard. You both get to name it. You don't have to. I'm not going to say yes or no until you both name something. So go ahead. Starting point guard.
Michael Carter-Williams.
Yes, I'm going with that.
All right, 1 point each. Starting shooting guard, according to the ESPN depth chart right now.
Yeah, that's
Wrong.
That's pretty much where the train ends there.
Yeah, wrong.
Tony Rotten?
Rotten? Tony Rotten. Wow, you get
Tony
no points.
Rotten.
Tony
No
Rotten?
points for
What
pronouncing
about
his name
Tony
wrong.
Douglas?
Tony Douglas is not on this team.
Well, I'm throwing it out there.
All right, neither of you get a point. The starting shooting guard right now is listed as KJ McDaniels.
KJ McDaniels.
Yep, exactly.
Sounds
That was
like
my
a
next
star.
guess.
All right,
Yeah, totally.
starting small forward, Footer, go ahead. This guy played 40 minutes a game last season towards the end. Because
I think I know who it is.
I don't know. No idea.
blank.
Is it Thaddy Daddy?
Thaddeus Young now
He's
plays
gone.
on the Minnesota.
He is
No.
gone. I do know that.
No.
All right, the starting small forward who last season played 40 minutes a game, Hollis Thompson. That's
Oh.
right. No idea.
What the heck?
Starting power forward. You're up first, Nick.
Oh, jeez. I have no idea, man. I really have no clue.
Nerlens Noel?
You got 1 point.
What?
2-1.
I thought he was like broken in half
Yeah,
or
he's
something.
He was
gonna
last year.
He's
He's
going to
back
make his
now.
NBA debut
All
this
right,
season.
well, I know the center of this team because we talked about him so many freaking times.
All right, then I'm
last
going to let
season.
Footer go first, see if he knows.
I don't know.
Oh, come on.
I did his preview.
You
video.
didn't
I get to
listen
tie
to
it
the
up.
show?
I get to tie it up. Henry Sims.
That is
Yeah.
correct.
My boy.
Henry Sims, my boy, last year was a fantasy savior. He was putting up double-doubles every night for the Philadelphia 76ers because they have nobody else. All right, bonus points if you can name anybody. I'm going to let you go round
Tony
robin.
Roten.
All right, you get 1 point. You're up by 1.
Joel Embiid, even though he's out for the
Okay,
year.
I said go back and forth. You can't cheat
Joel
like that.
Embiid.
Okay, I'll give you the point. Because you cheated and you didn't even know the rules of this game, you get 1 point. Somebody give me a tiebreaker. You're tied here.
Michael Jordan.
No. Footer, quick, we got a couple seconds. Get somebody
Jeremy
in.
Grant.
Jeremy Grant actually
Yeah!
was drafted.
terrible.
You win. Coming back, we're previewing the rest of the NBA Atlantic Conference. And you're listening to the Star Fantasy League Show on 105.5 The Team.
The Star Fantasy League Show. Information is key to being a successful fantasy team owner, and the guys have all the updated info you need right now. Okay, fantasy sports fans.
There's a letter in your mailbox.
Time to dig into Donald's mailbag for your questions and comments.
Read the mail, read the mail, read the mail.
Jump in the game. Send your questions and comments to the Star Fantasy League's team by tweeting at SFL Show.
That is right. You can tweet us at SFL Show if you want to be part of Jonathan's Mailbag or Froony's Universe, except for today and probably the rest of the next week because we're doing an NBA preview. Everyone's so excited. Go ahead. Yay. Why is nobody but me excited about this?
Well, you're not from this area.
Thank you.
So
Thanks for that. Thanks for that welcome.
You grew up having I'm going to point this to you for pretty much a lifelong Rochesterian. You grew up with an NBA team. You went to multiple games.
A lot, yeah. More than most
Good
people go
team.
to in a lifetime, yeah.
Dynasty.
Not when I was watching, but okay, continue.
But, storied franchise. This area hasn't had a team, well, if you're talking about Rochester, 50-plus years. If you're talking about Buffalo, you're talking 40-plus years. So I just feel that the fanfare, the closest team you have is Toronto and Cleveland. So that's just not.
Footer
not
is
that
hitting the
connection.
nail on the head so well right now. It is
that's
fantastic.
why we're not fans over here.
Well, he did leave out the part where NBA players are a bunch of sissies.
Oh,
But-
get out of here.
I was saving that for you. That was the layup.
All right, let's quickly talk about the Atlantic Division, and by quickly I mean the entire segment, because I get my basketball talk just like I gave you your hockey talk.
All right, you can have
I'm
your
all right with
precious
that.
basketball.
All right, we're starting out at the bottom. I'm doing it in this is the order the teams finished last season. I believe this is the order they're going to finish again this season, except I think the Knicks are going to pass the Nets. But anyways, that's aside. Let's go with the Philadelphia 76ers to start. Before the break, we named this team, so good job on you guys for naming 4 players that play for this team.
Yeah, they're trash.
This team is beyond trash. The big story is they were having a vote on lottery reform today that would give the top 4 teams an even chance at getting the number 1 pick, and then each team after that would be like decreased by a percentage. It actually did not pass. I was very surprised. By a vote of 17-13, it technically was approved, but they needed 23 votes for it to actually pass. Are you surprised by that?
No. Not really, because I think there's a lot of teams actually in this situation where they want to tank and kind of have, that opportunity. You got your Milwaukee's. You could even toss in like good teams now, like Indiana, losing Paul George for the year. Maybe it's a time to, rebuild, do the old, what San Antonio did years
Larry
ago.
Bird does not tank.
Yeah, why is this a thing? I don't understand why
tanking?
this is. Yeah.
Because the number 1 pick in this sport means a lot. A lot.
That's great.
Unless you're the Cavs and you take Anthony Bennett.
Yeah, but they also got Kyrie Irving out of that, so
true.
They're okay with that. And they got Andrew Wiggins, who turned into Kevin Love. So they're okay with getting the number 1 pick.
That's true.
Remember, they got 3 of those. That's a little weird.
Yeah.
Conspiracy. I can't deal with it. All right, so this Philadelphia 76ers team, all we have to do to talk about them is the fact that they're playing for 2017 and beyond. They drafted 2 guys that will not play this season. Joel Embiid out for the year. Most likely he might play the last month. And then Dario Saric, who will not play for the next 2 years because he's off in Europe somewhere playing.
That's just dumb.
No, it's actually not, because
that is dumb.
If they get in the lottery this year, which believe me, they're going to have a top 5 pick at worst, they're going to have 5 top 12 picks on their roster next season. 5. They're going to have young kids. It's going to be an interesting mix, but their fans deserve a refund. We talked about it yesterday, Sunderland or something like that was giving refunds to their fans. Philadelphia should just give all their season ticket holders refunds. They should.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
The team is atrocious.
Yeah, there's not much excitement there. Mark Carl Williams is coming off the Rookie of the Year, literally the only bright spot for them last year.
He was the only good rookie last year.
Yeah.
That's it. That's why he won the award. That rookie class was crap, except for Giannis, who I actually like quite a bit. Let's move on to another team that has absolutely no hope of doing anything positive. That's my Boston Celtics, sadly. They only won 25 games last year, and I think that they're on pace to win around that again.
Well, so how do you feel about their draft picks?
I loved their draft. Marcus Smart at number 6 is a gritty, defensive-minded, just ball vulture. Watching him in the preseason, all he does is dive for balls. He frustrates opposing point guards. Him and Avery Bradley playing together on the second unit is going to be amazing basketball.
Yeah, I thought they really got a steal at number 6 with Marcus Smart. I loved what he did in college. I really liked the way that he bounced back from that incident at Texas Tech.
I agree.
I really liked the way that he carried himself there. I think he could be a great fit.
And don't forget, James Young at 13, he was a guy projected to go in the top 10 until he had a car accident after college some point. One thing derails you 7 or 8 spots. Boston got a steal. They can wait on him.
Sure.
I think he's an athletic guy who will probably fit into whatever.
Well, so how does this team get back to the top of this division?
There are trades coming.
Rondo.
Oh, really?
They're 100%.
Rondo's gone?
I don't know if it's Rondo, but I definitely know something is happening. Danny Ainge has been moving pieces. He just did the trade with Joel Anthony for Will Bynum to move some money around so they're under the tax. They have some trade exceptions they've gotten. They have some pieces like Brandon Bass's expiring deal. Jeff Green's a healthy player that could fit into a playoff team's run. There are a lot of deals to be done, and Danny Ainge is going to be brought up in almost every single deal.
So you think they move Green and maybe Bass and try to pick up draft picks or players?
They already have quite a few draft picks in the next couple of years, especially coming from Brooklyn. They're going to struggle this year as well, so we're going to have even higher draft picks. I think Danny's positioning himself to be relevant either next year or the year after that. But we're going to be interesting until then. That's about it. All right, literally, this team they have no hope unless something big happens. That's pretty much what it is. Let's move on to some teams that actually do have some hope for this season. The New York Knicks made a nice big splash in the offseason by trading away Tyson Chandler and Raymond Felton, who was 75 pounds overweight, for Jose Calderon, Shane Larkin, and Sam Dalembert. I actually like this deal for New York quite a bit.
You said that, and I still don't understand.
Why?
I don't know. Tyson Chandler is a defensive player. He's a very good defensive player, too.
Yeah.
Samuel Dallenberg is not.
No, that's actually not true. Sam Dallenberg does statistically the same things that Tyson Chandler does, but I don't think that...
Okay, put them side by side. Who are you picking?
Tyson Chandler.
Okay,
But
that's what I meant.
Raymond Felton is a disastrous contract. Jose Calderon actually has a favorable contract, and he plays better than that piece of crap Ray Felton does.
All right,
and Shane Larkin is an intriguing young piece for the Knicks.
I'll give you that. I will.
They traded away two giant contracts. That's a big deal.
I get what you're saying. Tyson Chandler is a freaking monster.
I understand, but his defense declined last year. The New York Knicks didn't need him all that much because guess what? The team as a whole didn't play defense.
Well, all they have to do is beat Toronto and Brooklyn. So how do you do that?
You have to get more athletic very quickly because I think Toronto is actually going to be better than they were last season.
I would agree with you there, but I think that most of their scoring comes from the outside.
Yeah.
It comes from the backcourt.
Yeah.
So why not get some presence down low and force them to contend with you in the post?
Well, I mean, their bigs are actually pretty athletic as well. Amir Johnson and Jonas Valanciunas for Toronto. They have some athletic bigs.
I would take Tyson Chandler over them.
I don't know. He is 31 years old right now. He's not getting any younger.
Yeah,
certainly.
but he's a boss. Okay,
Okay.
He's the man.
Okay.
He's just straight.
I do think with
man.
Phil Jackson, Derek Fisher's going to be their coach. That's going to be an interesting adjustment period. They're going to try to.
I agree.
They're going to try to implement the triangle. Let's be honest. Derek Fisher played
definitely.
under the triangle for how many years under Phil Jackson? He's the right person to implement that system.
Completely agree.
He knows he was always there.
Completely agree.
But-
and hopefully Carmelo Anthony will learn what it's like to play defense.
Yeah, really. Personally, I think this is
Probably not gonna happen.
I've heard a lot about this being a destination for Rajon Rondo. It makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. Rajon Rondo, a pass-first point guard with a shoot-first forward in Carmelo Anthony, could be a nice little mix.
Yeah, but how many deals do they do with one another?
Oh, get it. That whole rivalry crap, Phil Jackson doesn't care. You think Danny Ainge cares? He's traded with everybody.
I'm just saying.
I don't think
I
that's
don't
a
know
thing.
what it's like because I don't really care.
I think this Knicks team is one trade away from being relevant, and I think they make it this season.
Yeah, that's what they said when they got Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, I think they're still one trade away. All right, let's go to the top two teams in the division. The Brooklyn Nets finally shed that being the oldest team in the league thing by basically just saying, see you later, Paul Pierce. He's gone. Jason Kidd's gone. He was kind of a interesting experiment gone wrong. He tried to take over the entire front office by kicking Billy King out. Billy King got word and shipped him off to Milwaukee.
Yeah,
so,
that was fun to watch.
Yeah, I honestly think Brook Lopez comes back for this team. They're another trade candidate team. A lot of buzz has been surrounding Darren Williams. I honestly have no idea where this team's going.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, they're still pretty old. They still have Garnett, Kirilenko, Darren Williams, and Joe Johnson, who have all been in the league plenty long. And Brook Lopez is definitely not solid in terms of health. He's injured pretty frequently.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't really see this team doing a whole lot, especially because Darren Williams is not really Darren Williams anymore. He's the artist formerly known as Darren Williams. So, Joe Johnson showed up when he could in the playoffs. He was fantastic in some games, and then he was just gone in others.
This is the time we have to bring up Darren Williams was considered better than Chris Paul at some point. Don't forget that, guys. That was a draft day thing.
We'll not forget about it.
Yeah, never. Horrible.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely lost some depth in the offseason, guys. I always liked Andre Blash. I thought he was a good, depth player. But
stop that.
That even stinks the way you said that.
Footer's talking NBA again.
I'm
Get him
trying
out
to
of
sound
the room.
smart. No, I think
you want to talk about your boy Lou Williams? Do you want to move on to Lou Williams?
Yeah,
We're going to talk about
sweet
Lou Williams,
Lou, baby.
No, I'm just kidding. You got. Go ahead. Tell me about their depth. This team is
I
horrible.
like Jarrett Jack. I know you don't like Jarrett Jack.
I like Jarrett
as a
Jack
backup
first.
point guard, as a number 2.
As a third guard, first off the bench, I'm actually okay. Cleveland tried to play him in a second spot, and I couldn't stand it.
Well, that team was trying to figure something out. They were just trying to move pieces around, trying to figure. I mean, if Darren Williams could ever return to a 20-point-a-night guy, then Jarrett Jack is perfect.
I think losing Sean Livingston was actually a bigger deal than people are letting on. I think he's a giant addition to Golden State in the offseason. Giant addition.
Yeah, totally agree.
All right, let's move on to the cream of the crop in the Atlantic. That would be the Toronto Raptors. They won the division last year, 48-34. They kind of came out of nowhere in the second half of the season. Kyle Lowry got snubbed for the All-Star team.
Absolutely.
DeMar DeRozan exceeded expectations. This whole team looked good. Terrence Ross at times looked like he could be a standout. But they didn't really change. They kind of just stayed the same. They're going with their core of young players here.
But they kept everybody together.
That's what I'm saying.
Sometimes that's overlooked.
Yeah, they spent some nice money. I think they got a steal here. 4 years, $48 million for a guy like Kyle Lowry, who he took the next step. He is the guy in Toronto right now. I think he was a player without a home. He kind of bounced around, but Toronto's clearly his place.
As long as these guys don't hit a huge speed bump in the beginning of the year where DeRozan or Lowry gets hurt and out for the year, then they should cruise to another division title because they really showed they can score, they can keep up with you any way they need to.
They play some defense. They got some bigs down low. Like I said, they got athletic guys. Valanciunas took a little bit of a step back last season.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced he was 100% healthy. He missed some games here and there.
But Terrence Ross is another year older.
Yep.
He's got more experience. I think this is going to be a pretty solid group.
And they got Psycho T there.
Oh, get out of here, Tyler Hansbrough. Stop it. They did get some playoff experience. They took the Nets to 7 games in the first round. That's actually pretty impressive considering how much of a veteran presence that the Brooklyn Nets have.
Agreed.
All right, coming after the break, we're no more basketball talk. We're talking NFL Week 8, and you listen to the Star Fantasy League show on 105.5 The Team.
Play fantasy sports for cash prizes. Join the top daily and weekly fantasy leagues in the country at starfantasyleagues.com. Now, back to the Star Fantasy League show with Jonathan, Zach, and Nick. Only on The Team.
Wrong. We're back on the Star Fantasy League show with Jonathan, Nick, and Matt Footer. You got a full name.
For once.
Yeah, I know. I gave you a name. Don't worry about it.
Thank you.
Zach will return. I don't really know. Has anybody heard from him? Is he alive?
I thought he was ziplining in the Caribbean or something.
That actually does sound about right. Although, to be fair, in Mexico, there's an awesome ziplining place. Did you go to that, Nick? I told you to go there. Did you go?
No, you know what I did when I was in Mexico?
Relax on the beach.
And I loved it.
See, I did that the second year I went there. The first year I did the whole touristy, exploring, ziplining. The zipline place called, I believe it's Explore, Xplor. If you're in Cancun, go there. You get to zipline on like 25 different places. It's awesome.
What a plug. Like 2,000 miles away. Plug.
Hey, remember, if you want a free plug on the Star Fantasy League show, just send us free food.
If you're out in San Francisco and you're looking for a sandwich, stop at Ike's Place.
Yeah, we're just giving free plugs to places that don't actually, advertise on the show. So
No, but I love Ike's Place.
I'm just going to go to random area eateries in Rochester and be like, you want some free plugs? I'd like some sandwiches. Right? Does that work?
Totally not going to work.
Is that extortion? I think might be extortion.
I think it's close to it, yes.
All right, we got to talk about Week 8. StarFantasyLeagues.com is where you play over $16,000 in guaranteed prize pools for weekly fantasy football. I can't say daily anymore because it's weekly. It
weekly,
really is.
Baby, weekly.
And we're not including the horrible game that starts at 9:30 in the morning. Can you believe that?
Why? That's not going to be horrible.
Getting up on the West Coast at 6:30 to watch the game is going to be horrible.
I wouldn't see myself doing that, but it's 9:30 here, and I'm very happy about that.
But are you happy to watch a game that involves Detroit and Atlanta?
Yeah.
Really?
Are you kidding me?
Really?
Him
Come
being
on.
a Packers fan, he wants to see Detroit lose.
Yeah,
of
that's
course
true.
I do.
This game is going to be. I feel so bad for the quote-unquote home teams that this
that's
counts as a
crap.
home game for Atlanta.
That's really crap.
It just means you lose a home game and Detroit gets a basic even keel road game.
Yeah, it's neutral territory.
Matt Ryan's 24-28 on the road too, so I think this is considered more of a home game because he's not in the dome. So.
Or maybe they hand out Falcons shirts when you're on your way in or something. So they're like, listen, this is who you have to cheer for today. You have to cheer for the
That would
Falcons.
be so scummy if they did that. They're like, yeah, you're all wearing Falcons colors.
Hey,
yeah.
go Falcons. NFL.
Wait, who are they from? Where are they from? That's probably what the guys are
ATL.
at. Yeah, Atlanta?
Yeah.
I'm not sure where that is.
Wembley.
All right, but from a fantasy perspective, we have to talk about, again, I feel like this is the 8th week in a row, Detroit's health is a big factor here.
Is.
Reggie Bush didn't really play, even though he technically started that game. Megatron, we don't really know how healthy he is, which means Joik Bell and Golden Tate are huge plays again if they're the only ones healthy.
They are back up, and they are ready to roar.
Yeah, Calvin Johnson didn't practice today. I don't see him playing again this weekend.
Yeah, why
I think
would
they
you?
have the bye coming up next week.
Okay. If they do, that makes a lot of sense for Detroit to sit him through the bye. This is basically a bye game. I don't think Atlanta has much life left in them. They just seem to – they started out pretty hot, and then they just went back to not playing defense at all.
Yeah, and Detroit's defense is rolling at this point, so I see them they'll pretty much hold Atlanta in check. So I don't think Detroit's going to go out there saying, oh, we got to put up 30 points this game to win this game.
Do you think Matthew Stafford's a play? His salary has come down significantly on StarFantasyLeagues.com.
Yeah, because he's not getting the big play production that he needs. I mean,
Calvin's dead.
He's doing fine with Golden Tate, and Golden Tate is putting up massive numbers. But Calvin Johnson has the ability to break a game wide open, and without him there, I think his ceiling is much lower. Matthew Stafford's ceiling is much lower than you really would want to see out of your starting quarterback. So,
but yeah, still for value, you got Joik Bell. I think if he is the starting running back, he's an easy 15 to 20 fantasy points.
I think Reggie Bush is definitely going to suit up, but to what extent he's going to be used, we're not sure. And regardless of that, the Falcons have no run defense. Reggie Bush is great in the dink and dunk passing game, but Joik Bell is the guy between the tackles. He should be able to take advantage. The thing of it is I do not see him as a 100-yard rusher. He hasn't gotten there this year. He's had plenty of opportunities to do it. If he gets 2 touchdowns, you're golden, but I think you see maybe 80,
but
75 yards.
Nobody's sniping his goal line carries. He is the goal line back.
He is the goal line back, yes, absolutely. So if they get goal line opportunities, it's great.
Yeah.
I feel like his ceiling's just a little bit lower than some of the – I've seen him going as like an RB1. I don't see that. That's no. No, I think he's a mid-range RB2 in this one.
I am perfectly okay with that. All right, let's move on to actual games that start at a proper time, 1 o'clock. St. Louis.
Well, I disagree. I think it's very proper in England to start at 9:30.
Stop that.
I
try to do British accents all the time on my other show, and I cannot do it. It's embarrassing. I try to make fun of people, and it doesn't work. All right, St. Louis.
Tisk.
St. Louis at Kansas City. I can't believe Jamal Charles, this whole, concussion after the fact deal. He was tested for a concussion after he said he saw stars, didn't come out of the game. They tested him on the field, didn't think he had a concussion then. But apparently he's going through protocol, and if he is slated to start, which he should be, I think he's one of the best plays of the week at running back.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you. I mean, the Rams really don't have a run defense.
And he's like 7,000 less than some of the time. He's only at 13,000 on StarFantasyLeagues.com.
I mean, it's so surprising how Andy Reid chooses to use his weapons on offense. Doesn't really pass the ball a lot. We thought, hey, maybe Travis Kelce's going to start taking some touches away from Jamal Charles. Just seems like he's the workhorse. He's the guy.
Yeah, if Charles doesn't play, though, Niall Davis is only listed at 10,000. So,
yeah, buddy.
And what's great about our format is you can put him in at the last minute. So,
yeah. You can put him in whatever the heck you want on StarFantasyLeagues.com. I agree.
I wouldn't touch anybody on the Rams side of the ball.
You're not excited about Trey Mason's
$4,500
salary?
I really. How do you know he's going to be the guy? I just don't.
I
don't know.
18 carries?
Did you see what Jeff Fisher said today?
I don't care. Hold on. Do you remember what Mike Zimmer said?
All right, but I'm telling you, Jeff Fisher hates fantasy football.
Why? Did he say Zach Stacy's going to play again?
Yeah, he said Zach Stacy could. Zach could get 25 carries this week.
Get out of here.
Well,
get out of here.
I don't want to touch it. The Rams are going to be throwing anyways because they're going to be behind in this game. So that takes Trey Mason out of the mix too because he's not a passing down
Casey's
back.
looking feisty, by the way.
They are.
They played Denver tough. They beat San Diego on the road. They're playing a little tough.
They are.
Not dead just yet. All right, let's move on to a team that is dead. Tennessee's hosting Houston. Tennessee is dead. That team has no quarterback. Who the hell is starting? We don't know.
Well, Locker should be starting this week, apparently.
Should be.
But, he'll break his pinky halfway through, and that'll be that.
Yep. I honestly only have one name written down, and he's really expensive. That's Arian Foster, who has been one of the best players in the NFL this season.
It's still going to happen. Don't you worry.
What, the massive injury?
The inevitable injury is still coming.
All right, so owners of Alfred Blue, rejoice. He's going to be starting in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I don't know about that. It really has surprised me how healthy Arian Foster has been.
He missed one game earlier in the year.
He did miss one game, but, normally what we've seen from him in the past is one game equals another one down the line, and then that next one equals 2 or 3, and all of a sudden you're looking at 5 missed weeks.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think he's been fine. He's been fantastic. Surefire RB1 if he's healthy.
Yep. I have nothing else written down because this over-under is 43. It's the second lowest of the weekend, and I honestly can't expect Tennessee to do anything on offense. You just don't know where it's coming from, who's starting, who's putting up production. I'd love to start the wide receivers because they're cheap, but honestly, I can't figure this team out.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say Andre Johnson is the only one I'd look at because he's under 10,000.
Well, so is DeAndre Hopkins. Hopkins is not getting the targets; he's getting the touchdowns. Whereas Johnson finally scored his first touchdown of the year.
Yeah,
last
it
week,
was
so.
it was that garbage touchdown where Pittsburgh just said, "Nah, you're good. Let's just."
What? No, it was Indy.
What?
He didn't score a touchdown against Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay. Then who
scored against Indy?
Excuse me. He should have scored one the other night, I believe.
Did he? No, I don't think so.
I thought he had one. It was overthrown.
He had five
overthrew him.
catches for 77 yards against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, a lot of those catches were late though on that last drive, where he kind of just played off and said, "Go ahead, do whatever you want." So he was out of the game.
But he's still a target monster. He still gets targets. So
He is,
if you're in a PPR league, he could do it. All he needs is one touchdown, and he's got 20 points.
That is true.
It's really, it's still like so frustrating. You're just like, come on, man.
Anything else interest you from this game? This game kind of is a bore to me.
Nope.
All right, a game that actually interests me on one side of the ball: Minnesota at Tampa Bay. The Bucs are actually favored in this game. I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah, not surprised.
No?
Not surprised.
No.
If you saw Teddy Bridgewater last week,
That's
the kid
true.
was lost. He was lost. He was on the road. In his first road game, no idea what to do. He was throwing picks. He was throwing errant passes. He basically relied on Jerick McKinnon. So Jerick McKinnon I could see. But, yeah, I'm not surprised because Mike Glennon's actually been solid. He's been solid ever since he stepped in.
Can I say it 10 million times? Mike Glennon is a fantasy, especially daily fantasy beast. I love him. He puts up the consistent 200 to 250 yards, 2 touchdowns. He keeps his interceptions low. For his price, $11,260, I think that he is one of the top plays for value at quarterback.
Agree. I could definitely agree with that.
Oh, yeah. Agree. I love when people agree with me. Oh, I love it.
If he's throwing the ball, he's got to be thrown to somebody. So I go with Evans and Jackson. Again, both guys listed under $10,000.
I do like Vincent Jackson only because they did mesh well last season. I don't really know how much they're meshing so far. Vincent Jackson seems unhappy in Tampa. What a surprise.
I always like to pick a guy that I feel like has a lot more opportunity. If Vincent Jackson does well, that's great. But I feel like you got to pick the right guy. If you don't pick the right guy, that's it. Whereas in an offense like Green Bay or Denver or something where the ball's getting spread around a ton, you have a much better shot of actually hitting on one of those. So I always just feel like your production is capped when you go with somebody like in Tampa Bay.
See, I don't know about that because I'm actually interested in Doug Martin. I know he hasn't done much at all this year. 9,000.
And I don't think he's going to do anything at all for the rest
What
of the
did Minnesota do against the Bills?
They
injured people.
Well, they still shut down the run offense pretty well. Minnesota's run defense is not that bad, actually, for the whole season. I don't like Doug Martin at all, personally, in this game.
It doesn't matter because Doug Martin isn't going to be doing much. Bobby Rainey's going to take over that spot.
You think that spot?
I think Doug Martin really has shot himself in the foot one too many times. I think Bobby Rainey could be the starter.
You're thinking Plaxico Burress.
No, I'm thinking Doug Martin.
But
metaphorically,
he actually shot himself in the foot. Okay, I'm just making sure you got the reference.
Ouch.
So
that's what he said. Ouch.
Yes, thank you. I got that part. So I mean,
just make sure you got the reference.
God, really? I hate both of you. Do I have to do the show with you? Can I just leave after the next segment? You cool with that?
No.
No, I don't think that's how that works. All right, so if we got Glennon in, we got maybe Vincent Jackson and no running backs. Do we think anybody on Minnesota's side of the ball?
Jerick McKinnon.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's still under 6,000 for a starting back. You got to put him in.
If he breaks one open, if he gets a 70-yard touchdown,
I don't even think. Wait, are we gonna have Coach Mike Zimmer come out today or tomorrow saying we're gonna go with the steady back? Matt Asiata's gonna get 25 carries.
No, what they're gonna do is they're gonna pick somebody up, an undrafted free agent, and they're gonna plug him in. Yes, they're going with Jerick McKinnon. It was such crap that Mike Zimmer said what he said.
Yeah,
he's trying to be misleading. It wasn't misleading.
What's the point? Yeah, what's the point of doing that? Are they trying to throw off the defensive schemes for the weekend? Going, all right, we're going to game plan for Matt Asiata. What's the big difference between Asiata and Jerick McKinnon if you're a defensive coordinator?
They just hate fantasy football players. That's all.
Yeah, will you stop that?
A lot of these coaches are in an old school mindset that there's no film out there. There's no reporters talking about how good these guys are, and they think that we can still throw them off. It's 1970 all over again. So
nope.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that defensive coordinators are going to game plan for all the people that are possibly playing, not just, he's listed on the depth chart number 1. We're only going to game plan for him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Awful. All right, coming after the break, we're going to break down the rest of the 1 o'clock games for Week 8 of the NFL season. You're listening to the Star Fantasy League Show on 105.5 The Team.
You're listening to the Star Fantasy League Show. Contact the StarFantasyLeagues.com guys via Twitter at SFL Show.
We are back on the Star Fantasy League Show, and do I have some great news for you listening right now?
Sweet. What do I get?
Yeah, what is it?
What?
You're talking to us, right?
No, I'm not talking
Candy?
to you. I'm talking to
Yes,
our...
it was almost Halloween.
Yeah, that's true. We're going to have some candy on the show, but none of you listeners get any.
How?
But you know what you do get? You get some value on StarFantasyLeagues.com. 100% deposit bonus, $2,000, and an $11 credit using the bonus code FREE14. And guess what? NBA daily games and NBA season-long contests are posted in the lobby as of right now. I just put the NBA games up this morning. They're for opening night of the NBA season, which is next Wednesday. I'm so excited.
So get Lou Williams in your lineup then.
Yeah, if you put Lou Williams in your lineup, I am personally punching you. It's going to happen.
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, I'm sure you are doing it. We got season-long. We got daily for NBA. We also have daily hockey, weekly NFL contests, 16,000 guaranteed prize pools for Week 8. And we got to close out the schedule by talking about the last 3 1 o'clock games. Right? We can do that?
Do it.
All right. 2 games that I don't know what the heck is going on or if I want to touch anybody. That would be Seattle, Carolina, and Baltimore, Cincinnati. Let's start out with Seattle and Carolina because what the hell did Carolina do last week?
Well, they showed their Panther colors, I guess. I don't know.
They laid a River Ron egg.
Yeah, they definitely did.
Against a really bad defense.
Or maybe they just got exposed by a superior team. Just saying.
How did Green Bay stop them? Let's be honest. Their defense is atrocious.
I'll tell you, they actually got to the quarterback. They figured out a way
else?
to collapse the pocket, and they kept Cam Newton contained, which none of us were expecting.
No, that's the way to beat. That's the way to beat Cam Newton. If you keep him in the pocket, you beat him.
Which is something that Green Bay is not good at doing. So, congratulations to my wonderful Green Bay Packers for not sucking.
I actually like a few guys on Carolina this week. Seattle's defense is a 22nd ranked fantasy defense this year. They're 3rd against opposing tight ends. So I think Greg Olson's a great play actually this week.
You mean 3rd?
Well,
most points?
I think Greg Olson is a play every
against
week.
tight ends, like allowing tight ends.
Yeah, 3rd most points. Yeah.
I think Greg Olson is a great play every week. I mean, he's Cam Newton's guy. I know Kelvin Benjamin has definitely gotten in there, but totally agree with you. He's he could be a top 3 tight end by the end of the season.
Perfect. Anything else that interests you? You said a couple guys from Carolina.
I mean, if you're looking for value, I guess Jonathan Stewart. He's at 6,600 for a starting back.
Jarrett McKinnon, way more than Jonathan Stewart.
Which I agree, but he had 72 total yards last week. If you're really looking for a gamble,
so if you're looking for mediocre production, go with Jonathan Stewart.
Correct.
And obviously Cam Newton. I think Cam has a nice day too.
His values come down quite a bit.
Austin Davis put up a nice week last week for the Rams. So
that is very true. Who do you trust on the Seattle team right now?
Russell Wilson, but he's second on
third highest.
Yeah, he's 22,000.
Third highest on StarFantasyLeagues.com. So, but he does everything. He does everything.
Yep, I agree completely. But yeah, too expensive for my taste. Baltimore, Cincinnati. This is one of those ground them out pound games.
I'm all set.
I'm kind of moving on from this game.
This is a division game, and it's one of those AFC North games that's going to be in Cincinnati. We've been having pretty crappy weather up here in the Northeast, so I have to assume this is just going to be a very low-scoring game.
Sounds about right.
I mean, I still like Forsett. He's under 13,000. He's the 8th best fantasy back this year. I think that's pretty good production.
He could be right if it's a ground and pound game. Could be right.
True. All right, the last game on the schedule I love the most. Miami at Jacksonville. Dolphins favored by 6 on the road. I think they can put up lots and lots and lots and lots of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I love Ryan Tannehill. I think he's going to have a great game. Mike Wallace, Lamar Miller, everybody could be in play for the Dolphins. They have to win. They know
you
they
didn't
have
include
to win.
everybody. Charles Clay, Jarvis Landry. Get the whole roster in there.
Their defense is listed at $2,545 or $2,054. They're a great play this week on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. Defense is a great play. I honestly think Denard Robinson on the other side of the ball is the only guy who did anything last week. Put him in there.
The only choice you have is to put Booby in. He's going to win because he's going to spin all over the Jets. Booby, baby.
We're not even talking about that game. I don't know how you got that
in
there. All right, play at StarFantasyLeagues.com for Week 8 of the NFL season. And apparently you just like saying that name. So I'm going to let you end the show with it. Go ahead. Say something funny.
Booby Dixon. Put Booby in. He gonna win.
Guys, if you don't
Bill's gonna win.
You don't put Booby Gibson in. That's right. Booby Gibson, he ain't gonna win. Take it easy, guys.
Booby Dixon.
Boo Williams.